Hello, everyone. I thought it was about time I properly introduced myself and told you a little bit about how I got here. I'm also going to answer some questions about my favorite British things. So, hello. My name is Rachel, and I'm from the weird and wacky state of Florida. This is always a fun conversation with UK border agents as they wonder why I would leave sunny Florida for cold, rainy Britain. I guess that's my own fault for always visiting in the winter, but that's how I can afford to go. Now, lots of British things fit into my areas of interest. There's so much history, great literature, and superb classical music. Plus, there's cake. But how did I become an Anglophile? I think we can blame that on my television. Where I live, our public television shows everything from Mr. Bean to Midsummer Murders to Jane Austen adaptations. All I can tell you is that I love them all, and at some point this led me to a love of British books, trains, tea, the countryside, and cake. Y'all know how to make a cake. So if you're still watching, I thought I'd share some of my favorite British things. I tried to think of my one favorite in each category, but it was just too difficult, so I'm going to give you my top 3. Since my love of Britain obviously started with television, let's start with, what are my top 3 British TV shows? In no particular order, my favorite TV shows are Doctor Who. Have I mentioned I like time travel stories? The Vicar of Dibley, and North and South, the miniseries adaptation of Elizabeth Gaskell's novel. It was quite hard to narrow it down to just 3 shows, but I decided to pick these as they're programs I can watch again and again and still enjoy them. It's really just a coincidence that Richard Armitage is in 2 of the 3. While I'm already cheating and dropping in a 4th TV show, we'll call Pointless my honorable mention, as it's my absolute favorite of all the panel and quiz shows of British TV, and because I've been known to rush back after a day of sightseeing just to catch it on the TV. If you live in the US and haven't seen it, definitely look it up on YouTube. You can find a number of episodes to check out. Now, you know I love a free activity or attraction to visit, so what are my top 3 in that category? Number 1, Bath Abbey, will come as no surprise if you've been around here for a while. I haven't been to every single church in Britain, but I think this one will be hard to beat. Something about the perpendicular Gothic rendered in this beautiful golden stone just makes it stand out. And that light filtering through the stained glass glows in such a way, I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit emotional the first time I stepped inside. And I made sure to visit each day I was in Bath. Another favorite is Lincoln College at Oxford University. Again, you've probably noticed my love for Oxford, and my favorite thing to do is to step inside a college and enjoy the quiet that envelops you upon entering. It's hard to pick one favorite, but Lincoln has some particularly beautiful architecture. So take a peek inside if it's open when you're visiting. Finally, Princes Street Gardens is my go-to place in Edinburgh. Not only is it a beautiful green space, you get great views of the Old Town and the castle. Now to the good stuff. What are my favorite British foods? I think I'd better skip the cakes, because then you'll be here all day listening to me talk about all the Battenbergs and Victoria sponge cakes I've loved before. At the top of my food list is pie and chips, both because I love them together and because I'm happy to have each on their own. Second is Welsh rarebit. It's cheese on toast. What more could you want? And lastly, Coronation chicken, which I had here on a jacket potato, but is also great as the filling in a tea sandwich or on a roll. And finally, as an Anglophile and a bibliophile, I must have some favorite authors. My all-time favorite author is Elizabeth Gaskell, and clearly I love her a lot, as the North and South miniseries mentioned in my top shows is based on her novel. Another favorite is Robert Harris, who I've talked about in a video dedicated just to him. Check that out if you enjoy thoughtful and intriguing historical fiction. And then I must include Jane Austen. Many an Anglophile has got their start with a Jane Austen novel, and I definitely think reading Pride and Prejudice as a teenager is almost as much to blame as those British TV shows on Masterpiece Theatre. I would love to know your British favorites. Make sure to leave a comment below.